Well, howdy, 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 everyone. It's great to be with y'all again. So just came out is the No Man's Sky Voyagers update. So I figured that it was a great time to get back into the game. Because I played a little bit on my personal save and trying to kind of like figure out what the update's all about and all that. Like, stuff I've experienced is pretty cool. So I want to bring that to you guys. That maybe don't have the game or haven't seen the update yet. But yeah, and I figured it'd be best to do that through a new save. What's up, Rocky? But yeah, so the new save, just like walking through the story again with all this new content, I feel like it would just be a really great way to do it. So we're gonna get that loaded up and get going here. So we're just gonna go for normal mode, and it's just gonna start loading through. And we're in for the long haul, so I'm gonna crack one here. We'll get going. Well, there's not a man in the sky, though. So. Like, if we look right here, right now, there's no one up there. It's just a whole bunch of stars. But soon there will be a man in the sky, and it'll be me. And I will own all of it. Kind of like in like the World Wars, how it was like no man's land, as nobody really conquers it. But me, I'm going to conquer it, all of it, mine. Possibly. We don't need to talk about that yet, though. We'll get there eventually. Don't you worry. I'm actually gonna turn the game down just a touch. That doesn't overbear my voice. That's too much. That's about good right there. There are planetary settlements that you can kind of do that, but also if you're playing with other people, though, you can like quote unquote enslave your friends. So we're going to begin the initialization process. Goodness gracious. Oh, he did? That sucks. Thought it was a Molotov cocktail that killed him. Or maybe I'm I watched the wrong one.
Aerial propulsion jetpack online.
So it looks like we're on a frost planet to begin. Which, you know, they have their upsides and their downsides. I mean, they look really pretty all the time. I'm actually going to turn this down a little bit more because she keeps trying to talk over me. Like, there's a lot of cool things about these kind of planets. But first thing I'm going to do immediately is get some oxygen. Like the voice actor or something. Or like the actual character? Yeah, it's only mostly completely necessary, so, you know, I mean, you probably could go without it, but not for very long. Same with sodium, which we need to get some of because our hazard protection is falling very quickly. We need ferrite, so we get to destroy this thing. I get a whole bunch of dust that we can fabricate into make our little doohickey scanner thingy work. Oh, there's some sodium right here, so that's good news right off the bat. We can maybe recharge our hazard protection. But we still need to find some more rocks. It is very effective, the death laser. In order to win this argument against this rock, though, you need an advanced death laser. And so you need it to be even more powerful, because they've got a much more solid argument. And Rocky, shouldn't you be in bed? Isn't it like almost midnight for you? Ah, alright. Well, it was a pleasure having you in. Yeah, that's fair. Who knows, I might even still be streaming when you wake up, so we'll see. But I'm probably gonna be streaming for like 4.5 or 5 hours, so. What's that? Remember what? That is a very true statement. I'd have to agree with that one. Oh, I appreciate that heart. It was very nice. Those things. Those, crossworts? They might be. Or, pulpy roots, that's what they're called. Yeah. Those can be consumed. They do different cool stuff, give you different, like, attribute boosts and stuff. These blue crystals are dihydrogen. Very good idea to collect a whole bunch of this early game. It's used to power when you eventually get your starship, which won't be too long from now. That's what it uses to take off and land, so very good idea to have a lot of that handy. sodium in this scan again. Looks like there's some over here too. Go grab that real quick. Get some more oxygen going too. There's buried technology here too. Can I reach it from the surface? I sure can. That is a big win, as we say. Just grab that. Some oxygen over here as well. Big old red plant. Or little red plant rather. Right there. Oh, there's a big clump of it over here. Perfect. Like all of this. And I'll tell you, when I end up playing this, if you think you have enough sodium, you definitely do not. You will always need more sodium. Once again, the soundtrack of this game is just incredible. Look at this dude. He's big chillin'. Going up in front of my laser, dude. Condensed carbon here. Probably won't need that for quite a while, but may as well grab it. So these things, they say they're junk, but I would recommend taking them, especially early game. Because once you refine that, it gives you ferrite dust, which is a very important part of most of the base game, well, early base game stuff, so. There it is, there's the first starship. That's the same starship that everybody in the game starts out with. But, like I've said in my previous videos on No Man's Sky, is it'll always be somewhere different that you're spawned in. So, we just overrided that distress signal, claiming that it's been accepted. So now we can go see what is up with that. Also, those like machines right there, anytime you can, clean those up because they give you nanites. And nanites, well, in the early game are not going to be super present or used. They will become very, very necessary and valuable later on in the game. Even still considered like early game, like past like the tutorial missions and that sort of stuff. So our Atlas connection is not great. Could be better, could be worse. We don't have launch thrusters. We don't have an engine. Problem. It says, I find myself alone on a strange world, unequipped and in danger. I have no memory of how I got here, no sense of a before. But this ship at least seems to recognize me. The controls react to my touch, or at least to that of my exosuit. I am not dead yet, and the ship is a lifeline out to the stars. So, we're gonna read the log. And, like, with that sort of thing, is, like, once we're out of the tutorial here, I'm gonna put polls, like, 1, 2, 3, or 4 of, like, what you think we should do. And so you guys kind of get to, like, have input on the story as well. So it'll be our journey, not just my journey. So we're gonna turn on the self-guided repair protocols. So our engine needs metal plating and a hermetic seal. So let's see what it asks us to do. It asks us to create some metal plating, which we can do. And then we're going to place it into our engine to repair it. Now it doesn't want us to do. It wants us to reboard. Iteration. Says, Starship critically damaged, vital ingredients missing. Unable to synthesize required components. Pulse engine requires hermetic seal. So we're going to go ahead and request assistance for that. Recommendation. Iteration comparison reveals hermetic seal nearby. Salvage planetary chart from distress beacon cache. So, this is the distress beacon over here. So we're going to go ahead and run this. I peer inside the beacon's housing, as well as its distress broadcast unit. It contains a planetary chart. Let's go ahead and take that. If we go into our inventory here, we can plot a route. It'll send us into the sky. Show us everything. Now that looks like where our hermetic seal is, so we're gonna just go ahead and go out that way. And just start running. And as we're going here, make sure to throw your scanner out too every so often, so that you can see if there's any sodium near you that you can swoop by and pick up. And actually, that one's close enough. I want to grab it. Just because it's better to have it than not have it. Like I said before, like, if you think you have enough sodium, then you're wrong. Because it'll sneak up on you needing it, so. Same with oxygen. If you see these guys, make sure to shoot them. So right there, that's what I was talking about. Is there's now a storm coming, So that's going to cause my hazard protection to just deplete very, very, very fast. So that's going to require more sodium to deal with. So during a storm you have a couple options. You can either keep refilling your hazard protection with sodium, or you can try and find a cave or a building to hide in. I apologize for all the sniffles too. My allergies are running real wild right now. But when you hide deep enough in a cave or inside a building, it stabilizes the temperature. So that makes it so that you can actually survive. So, see, with the scanner, I never would have realized that there was sodium in it there, even though it was right in front of me. See, like that just snuck up. Couldn't even see it, and that would have made me lose health. Which would have made it even harder to reach my destination. Recharge my life support as well. Can I reach that? So those things that I'm trying to reach, they're buried technology modules. Those actually give you like things that you can use to research. Those like data chips or whatever. So this is the Holo Archive. It says accessing archive, 6 out of 7 logs corrupted. Entry 4924A follows. No one making this recording in case leaving behind in the fabricator might be of some use. Visor damaged. Can't find ship. So it seems like it might have been damaged in time. So we're gonna take his repair protocol, or whoever that was. The log finishes and the machine whirs to life, spitting out supplies. I have the hermetic seal I need to repair my ship. Whoever it was that led me here, whoever left this message, perhaps they found themselves in the same situation as I do now. So that completes our mission of finding the hermetic seal. Now I also want to explore these buildings. So a lot of times they'll have fun stuff in here. That's right. I'll take this first aid. My health is already at maximum, but it's still good to make sure. Universal Language Database. Terminal online. Universal Translation Service reached. Lifeform Dictionary available. We can learn a word. So I learned the Gek word for Gek. So, for those of you who are unaware or haven't seen my previous videos, there are 4 main life forms in this universe. There's the Gek, the Viking, and the Korvax, and the Travelers. So you play as a Traveler, which are like the humanoid. Your characters are called anomalies, actually, which is a whole different subplot story, whatever, that we'll eventually discover and find out. And then there's also Travelers. But, throughout the whole game, they refer to you as a Traveler, which means you have the form of an anomaly, but you are a Traveler. So Travelers tend to have these really, like, crazy, like, head structures and, like, wires and floating stuff and whatever. Anomalies are very humanoid, like, legs, arms, head. Very, very humanoid. The Korvax are, like, these robot dudes. Um, the Viking are like these like really strong brutes, like Halo brutes, and then the Gek are like these like frog kind of guys. They're pretty cool. They have like beaks and stuff, um, but you can like increase your standing with them, which makes them want to give you more stuff or allow you to take missions from them or allow you to settle in their planetary systems, or complete better trades, stuff like that. And if you increase your standing with them, they'll be more likely to do that. They'll give you better trades, they'll give you better opportunities to progress and grow. So it's best to stay in high standing with them. But you can commit acts of piracy, whether that be on purpose or accident. So it's just like shooting down a commerce ship, which will decrease your standing with them, and so they'll be less likely to provide all that for you. But it looks here like we have another holo archive. Accessing archive. I think this is the same. Yeah, it's the same thing. Interesting. You're gonna give me another hermetic seal? So do I have two now? I do have two. Interesting. Well, there's a little thing for you guys so you can find two hermetic seals. But now we need to install our analysis visor in order to locate our starship again. Now I'm going to put it all the way down here, so it's kind of out of the way. So then we need to craft a carbon nanotube. So in order to do that, we need 50 carbon. But before we do that, I have to take a small break. I will be back with you guys in like 5 minutes. I do apologize for that, but I am back. And we can get that carbon nanotube going. So we gotta find something that's gonna give us carbon. Is it this? Yeah, that's gonna give us some carbon. So we only need 50 here in order to craft it, and that'll do it. That'll give us this. Now we can take this over to the multi-tool, put that in there, and now we have our analysis visor. We can press and hold F and scan things, and it'll give us units for it. So we can scan fauna and flora. Like this dude that's walking around, we can scan him. Got 3,000 units for that. Same for that other guy. So now we know that the starship is over here. So we can get back to it. There's something we can scan. 1,600 units. So this is a great way to make some early game money, is by scanning things. Because that's just gonna keep racking them up, and you'll almost always have something to scan. Because there's so many different things in this game. If you just run around every so often, flip out your visor, you'll probably find some. On these like snow planets, you're probably not gonna find really much that's like gonna be scannable, just because they're so bland. Not really much going on in these kinds of worlds, but once you get onto like more planets, like tropical planets and stuff, there's a lot more fauna to scan and flora. But there we go. There's some stuff down there that I don't think I've scanned yet. Boom. What is that? That's a sodium deposit. So that is just pure sodium, all wrapped up in there. So if you had a terrain editor, you could dig all that up. Frozen tubers and heptaploid wheat, and then some frozen tubers. So those are consumables as well. So they once again give you different perks and buffs, whatever, depending on like what you're doing. So let me turn down the game just a little bit because it's starting to encroach on my voice. So it looks like there's a knowledge stone over there somewhere too. 102 units. We can go visit that. See what it's all about. Oh, and look at that. It's right there. So the knowledge stones, they will teach you words. So see, we already learned the Gek word for Gek. So we know that it says Gek, and then something, 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 but that's all the same word. The vision begins to take shape. A small alien life form kneels before me. They are tired, beaten. Without meeting my gaze, they offer up their hand. I accept the knowledge. The name Gek floats in my vision, an echo of the strange vision I just experienced. A word in this alien tongue is seared into my brain. So I learned the Gek word for friend. Probably a pretty good one to know. So I know when they're saying they're friendly or not. And if only learning languages in real life was that easy. You just walk up to like a monolith and just sears the language straight into your brain. That'd make it so much easier. But alas, we're stuck learning with like Duolingo. So now we can repair our engine hermetic seal. So now, because we've collected all that dihydrogen already, we can just craft this jelly, dihydrogen jelly right there, and then start to repair the launch thrusters, which are like the landing gear. So now we need to get out, and it wants us to collect 40 ferrite. We're going to make a portable refiner. So we can go back up to where we saw some ferrite earlier. Pretty sure these, nope, those don't give ferrite. Oh, what's this? Did not see this before. More stuff to scan in here. This good. That gives cobalt. Interesting. Whole bunch of different stuff. This is kind of cool. Very laggy in here, but it's real cool. Sounds like stuff's moving in here though. Kinda spooky. That's a hazardous flora. Oh, does it produce like gas or something? That gives you sodium when you destroy it. Interesting. I've never seen these before. They might be new, they might not be new. I'm not sure. Oh, but some of them give you oxygen. And some give you sodium. Interesting. Like I just said, this is my first time dealing with those, so. We just gotta find some ferrite dust here. Can we do this? Nope, can't mine that. Okay. So we gotta keep looking. Excuse you, sir. So anytime you see those, you want to destroy them. It's better to just get rid of them. Unidentified plant. Oh, there's another one of these. And these do give ferrite. We're gonna take this thing down. Actually, may as well take a whole bunch of these right now. Oh, we're up here. They're just right here. This game kind of like puts you into a little bit of a hoarder mentality, but not really. In the early game, you definitely fall into that mentality of like just collect everything you can, which on certain items that's a good thing, on others it's not. Like ferrite's a good thing to do that with. because you use so much of it early game. But oh, this thing also gives dihydrogen, so I'm gonna break that. I get some ferrite and dihydrogen. Take that out while we can too. While I'm here. So I can see in the top right that my mining beam is getting really low on its percentage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get a whole bunch of carbon real quick. So I'm just going to mine a whole bunch of carbon plants until my laser runs out. Charge. Also with that heat warning, the closer you get to overheating, the more damage your mining laser does. But if it overheats, it causes you to take a break. So, also, carbon is one of those things that you should be hogging. You should be hoarding carbon because it's used for pretty much everything. Because your mining laser runs off of it. If you don't have your mining laser, then it's going to be a real tough time trying to get stuff. You can punch stuff to get resources, but it's not ideal. It's much easier to just use your mining laser like this. But so if you just like release slightly when it gets to that overheat warning, you can keep it pumping at about 90 to 100. So you have a very short break in between rather than the like full big break if you overheat it. And over time you'll get better at figuring out when it's gonna actually overheat and that line getting close and when it's not. Sometimes it gets close, but it's not actually gonna overheat. There's a freighter up there. Came into the planetary interference. I'm just gonna collect a whole bunch of carbon here, just to have it. No, I don't really have to worry about it for a little while. I can focus on other stuff. Because you're also gonna need quite a bit of carbon for base building pretty early on, even for a pretty basic base. It kind of all runs off carbon, so better to just have a whole bunch of it. One of those games that you definitely can very easily get lost and not realize how much time you spent playing. In my personal save, I have like 28 hours or something like that, and it has not felt like 28 hours. Granted, that's over like months, but still, it's very easy to pull like 4 or 5 hour sessions on this and not really realize it. Especially when you're just like in full grind mode. quote off-camera grinding, but oh, that's right. I need to go here, craft a metal plate, and then take some of that oxygen, and then place a portable refiner. Also with that carbon is it's used to charge this fuel. It's also used as fuel for this refiner. And carbon is used as a basic fuel for pretty much everything. So it's better to just have a whole bunch of it and not have to worry about it. Now that we have viscous fluid, we can run this again. It'll produce living slime. Then we can mix that in with our other set of that we already have. And then we'll be able to just mix all that into nanite clusters, which will give us a ton of nanites. Well, not a ton, but a good amount for early game. They're just gonna really boost us. Right there, turn it into runaway mold. So now we can put those straight back in and cross them into nanite clusters. So if you look here at the conversion rate, it takes 5 of these to make one of these, and unfortunately we're 1 short. So we can just hide that in the starship. So now we can see that that gave us about 62 nanites. That's real nice. So I'm also going to put this in here. And this is a 1 to 2 conversion rate. So we're going to get 500 ferrite dust out of these 250 pieces of rusted metal, which is real nice. Especially early game to have that much ferret dust just available. Awesome. So now we need, how much pure ferrite do we need? We go up here, we can hover over this and see that we need 50 pure ferrite. Now I know, because I played the game long enough, that it's a 2-to-1 for ferrite. So we're gonna change this down and then bring it back up to 100. Oh, they changed it. That's right. Say 1-to-1. So we're gonna put. Actually, you know what? We'll put the full 100 in there, just so we have it. No, this isn't gonna take long at all to process. And so we can even just go boom, pick all that up at once. We can go here. Just repair it right there. So now it's all prepared. Launch systems are online, as it says right there. Press W to take off. So are we all ready to take off? We are in the air. I am actually going to go here and switch the starship view to third person. That's just what I prefer. So we're in the Euclid Galaxy. So we gotta test our orbital flight systems when it stops lagging. So there's... release with left shift, and then test the pulse engine. So the pulse engine is used to travel long distances at a time. Incoming transmission. Source 4925B. Please identify yourself. So what do we think we should do? Should we identify ourselves? Or should we just listen? Personally, I'm a little skeptical, so I'm just gonna... That's what I would do, but... You are not alone. Follow the... The broadcast ends as strangely as it began. The final piece of the signal appears to be a set of planetary coordinates. Well, looks like we have no choice but to input them.
Alert. Navigational data received.
Looks like it's down over there. So we can use our pulse engine. Rather than it taking like an hour, take us just a few seconds. Looks like there's something here. So these rings, whenever you see them, they are free landing spots, so they won't use any fuel to take off or land from these. And I have a feeling this is also thing we're looking for. It is not actually, but no, we can explore this place real quick. Oh my gosh, I apologize for the lag. Believe me, it's not fun for me either. Look here, read encyclopedia. Learned another Gek word. There's some nanites. We can search that. Found some carbon. We can research that specimen. Should increase our standing with the Gek. So we need to go 500 units that way. That's a little bit of a hike, so we may as well just get straight to it. So that little like half circle there means that there's a sentinel nearby watching me. So sentinels basically are like the protectors of the planet. So you don't want to like mine anything around them or attack them, because they do not like it when you do that, because their job, as I said, is to protect the planets and their resources. Because they are a part of the Atlas. The Atlas is like the overseer of this universe. So basically everything is connected back to the Atlas in one way or another. Honestly think we're going towards the... Oh, no. Just a normal knowledge stone. So once you complete that first one in a system for that life form, your next one will not do that whole intro thing. Oh, that's what we're looking for right there, I guess. whenever you see these as well, make sure you walk up to them and use them, because they save your game and your location, and then they also give you navigation data, which you can use to summon your starships to landing pads, which are very useful. The sparking wires of the machine generate a signal, tapping out its broadcast into the void. Whoever left this message is long gone. We'll decipher it. Decoding 16, 16, 16. Entry 4925C. No fuel in failed to reach station. Hazard protection low. No choice but to underground. Deployed base computer. As well as the log entry, the signal contains plans for a base computer and a terrain manipulator. With any luck, the base computer will hold more information about whoever is leaving these messages. We'll extract the plans. So we're going to install the terrain manipulator. So that requires dihydrogen jelly and 2 carbon nanotubes. And go ahead and craft those right there. And then you can hold E to craft more. If you're on computer. And then put those in there. So now we can alter the terrain. That's very useful. So like, we need to get some copper, looks like. Copper there, 871 units away. Copper over there. It's going pretty close compared to everything else. But now also with the terrain manipulator, you can see stuff like where damaged machines are. You can see where buried technology is. So like right here, like this thing. We walked over this, so we can now press G, and we can dig down to it. Also, how you can build your own caves during like storms and stuff. So I think we're gonna go to this one right here, since it's only 200 units away. And if you'll excuse me for a moment. I apologize, I just had to cough real quick, and I didn't want to cough and like, jump scare you guys. That's it. I could see on my little like bar there that it blew out my microphone, so. Another one of these dudes. So a lot of times, these deposits will have at least one hazardous flora near them. I'd recommend just taking that out just straight away. So unfortunately, looks like there's a sentinel nearby. So we gotta be kind of careful. Yeah, that's him right there. So you gotta be a little bit careful. You can see him scanning that to make sure it's not harmed. So you gotta be a little careful about mining right now. If it catches us mining, it will not be happy. So that's looking over here. I'm gonna stop. So if you just keep an eye on them, it'll be alright. And don't mind while they're like actively staring at you. And then they will also sometimes like scan you. When you're near them, they will fly on up and scan you, make sure that you're not like anyone they're looking for or anything. Once they make sure of that, then they'll pretty much leave you alone unless you do something they don't like. So, since he's right there, I'm gonna stop. He's real close. Just gonna do his thing. We're gonna recharge our thermal. He's just doing his little flyby, just checking. He might scan me. I might get to show you what that's like. Hey dude, what's up? Yeah, he might scan me here actually. Maybe not. Like if I do that, he might scan me. So when they scan you, they're trying to see if you have like the thing that was just destroyed on you or whatever. But as long as you see that icon in the bottom right, that sentinel icon, then you shouldn't be mining anything. Just to be safe. That means they're in range of you, to where they could notice. So see how when I move away, that goes away? That means they're out of the range to notice. The other thing you'll get from mining into the ground is silicate powder. And that will allow you to, it's basically like sand, like silica. It can be used to make glass and stuff. I'll be okay to mine for a little bit more. And once you get more comfortable around the sentinels, you know, like, kind of when they're looking at you, it'll just be a gut feeling. And if you get caught, they're really not that hard to defeat. Just shoot and run. I actually gotta walk past him to get back to the ship, so you can actually use the mining laser and attack him like that, but I would not recommend it. Because that creates more issues than it's worth. And would you look at that, we just happen to run into some sodium here. I will take that gladly. And I will also take the oxygen from this hazardous flora. And I already collected that, so. Also, a tip, if you ever see these like big crystals, also watch out for holes like that. But these like really tall big crystals usually require an enhanced mining laser, which you'll know by the big X. But this is deuterium. So deuterium causes your jetpack to surge. So that means you can use it and it won't deplete for a short time. And just And then you'll know when it's over because it'll make that like sound. Oh my goodness. Why is it lagging so much? I do apologize if you just give me a minute. That is interesting. It is able to run off of OBS. And it's showing me what I'm doing. But it's not showing me on my actual computer screen. Well, until my screen updates. So these are like different like buildings that you can discover. So these like hallways down here require the Atlas Pass, which you'll get eventually. There's no need to rush it. This says the small creature is busy adding up trade profits when I appear. Sensing me, their eyes widen in anticipation, and they rub their fingers together greedily. Friend, the Gek. The lifeform pecks emphatically at the monetary figures on their pad, then bounces up and down. A warm, pleasant scent fills the air, a relief after the bitter cold that rages outside. So what do we think we should give them? I'd say we give them 100 units. The lifeform is clearly thrilled. They give me a piece of technology in exchange. Okay, cool. So they gave us a technology module, it looks like. So a life support module. So we can install this up here. So that gives us plus 6% on our life support tank. So that means our life support will last longer. And while we're in here, we may as well recharge everything. That's really cool. So, what we can do now is we can just go right back to our starship. So, or no, first it wants us. I apologize about that. But yeah, so it wants us to plant in the portable refiner here. So, we can take this, put in our charge. And then I suppose we can also do this right now. We can just refine our junk into profitable stuff. Or useful stuff, rather. Not necessarily profitable. There's some ferrite dust, just straight. And we can process this goo and slime and whatever. That's done, put it right back in there, process it again. It's a whole, process to refine all this. You can see it says right there, even recycle waste materials. Did not need to exit that. I also apologize if you can hear my fan. It is very hot where I live right now, so I've got a fan going directly into my face. All together, I can process as much of that as it'll take. There's definitely gonna be some left over. Yep. And get some nanites out of that. But right now we need to. Right, it's copper that's 2 to 1. Pretty sure we only need 50. But we'll find out. It is. Oh, it's only 30 for this computer. Oh, we've made 50, so better to have more than not enough. So now we get to go find somewhere we want to build. And me personally, I don't really want to build on this planet, so I'm gonna fly back out to the stars here. We're gonna look at some other places here. See what kind of real estate we're working with. What about this planet? What does this planet have to offer? So if we pulse engine at it, it'll lock us in on it, we can scan it. So it says icebound planet, so it's essentially the same planet we were just on. Or no, this is the planet we were on, the hyperbarren planet, which, now that I think about it from an outside perspective, it does not sound great. We got a planet here, we have discovered an airless planet. Interesting. What about this one? A desert planet. So that tells me it's probably going to be really, really hot. So I think we can probably go to the airless planet. What is this? Tritium-rich asteroid. So I say we just go over here real quick and just blow that thing up. Tritium. And we can immediately use that tritium to recharge the thrusters. Or the pulse engine. And This game's graphics are just insane. They're so beautiful. The graphics and soundtrack are just amazing. Wait, is this the same planet I was just on? I don't think so. I don't think there'd be snow if it was an airless planet. Doesn't look like there's much carbon happening here. It's pretty much just ferrite and stuff. It definitely is more of a mining planet than a base planet. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get out of here. And then we're probably gonna go for that, I mean, this one's got rings. That's kind of cool. It's like an icebound planet, but what about this one? What's this one all about? Oh, it's the desert planet. Have I seen that one? No, I haven't. Let's go over there. See it. Let's say acid or acrid. Oh, so it looks like that could be like maybe some sort of like sort of like tropical planet or something. I don't know why the whole like the colors just shifted. No, it's probably not a sign of something bad's about to happen. Well, we can only hope. Ah, see? We're back to normal. Looks like this planet might have a light side and dark side. Interesting. I'm gonna go down towards the light side here. Like there might be water, but also possibly not. It'd just be a cliffside. In fact, I think it is a cliffside. Oh, that might be one. Or is that just a shadow? Well, maybe down here would be a decent spot. Just gonna set up a small there's a little settlement there. Good looking hut. Wonder if they have a landing pad. Maybe we'll find out if it stops lagging so bad. I don't think they do have a landing pad. So we just land down in like the valley here somewhere. And just see what we can do here. What the heck is that thing? Is it, behavior is methodical, so hopefully it won't kill me. It's a big hopefully. I think I'm gonna place the base computer right there. Accessing log from previous user. Entry 4925D follows. Storms sweeping across but construction supplies low. Depositing shelter plans will need to back soon. So we got a whole bunch of different building sites. But unfortunately, that is probably where I'm gonna have to leave it, unfortunately, because I did not realize what time it was, and I need to get some sleep tonight, so I'll have to leave it there. But I appreciate everyone for coming in and spending this time with me. If you liked what you saw, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps me out, grows the creator. It also helps me know what you guys want to see. And if you know anyone who might like this kind of content, please share the video. Please let them know about me. I really appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. But for now, peace out, travelers, and I'll catch you in the next one.